Okay, let's just start with this mounted warrior guy. He's a pretty decent calf. Let's look at his stats. He will take tougher horse and halberding most likely, especially if your teammates will drop you some stuff. And actually this short spear is very good against infantry. It has 21 armor and tons of hit points. It's definitely one of the best calf in the game. The only thing why it's not S tier, because it has no coach. It's definitely A. And cost 140. It was, by the way, nerfed one day. In the past it was like 130, and if it will be 130 now, it will be definitely S tier. Let's go ahead. Recruits. Some guys think that recruits is the best peasant class in game, just because they has Jeffs and Pilas. But actually, all this 100 gold you pay, it's all about just you are paying only for Pilum, which you will drop for your calf most likely. And then you just have a fucking garbage class with 10 armor and mediocre sword. 10 armor, it means that this class will be one-shotted by almost everything in this game. No, I will put this class at B tier at the best. I mean, if one random arrow or Jarit or just Lancer will go not with coach but with just hit. All these things will one-shot you. If arrow won't even headshot you, you will lost almost all your HP, trust me. Definitely not the best peasant class. Bannerlord infantry in the past was definitely S tier, especially when it has shield. But now without shield and even Bannerlord itself was nerfed. Look at this damage, 109 is fucking ridiculous. And the thing that Bannerlord is we're glancing very often. Made this class fucking garbage. It's good only against Calf actually. In teamfight it's not so good because lack of damage and the thing that block delay is here. You can be trashed by right hits because it's kinda difficult to block from left with Minavlion, you know? If you playing Shocking often, you know what I'm speaking about. Go ahead. Brigand, definitely S tier. Just look at this axe. I mean, you will take improved armor most likely, but you will get this axe from Raider, from your team. 94 damage, just compare it to Minavlion, which is shock tier. Shock inf, I mean. Minavlion has 109 damage. And this is 100 weapon, 94. Especially when there is a light infantry meta, this weapon can one-shot almost every single unit on the map. Every skirmisher, every light archer. And you will two-hit heavy archers. And you even have a throwing spear. Definitely broken class. 19 armor. very good movement speed, decent shield. I mean, it's not toughness, but it's kind of big. It can protect you. If we will compare it to fucking Battania's skirmisher shield, but we will go to it. And the cost 110. Ridiculous. Yes, you will be able to 3 spawn in this class in every round since first round. Absolutely unbalanced shit. Fian. In my opinion, the best archer class in the right hands. You need to kinda practice with this stronger longbow. I think you want to take exactly stronger longbow if you're playing Fian. Because of 77 damage. But you need to used to it. Because shooting with this bow is kinda different compared to other bows. It's slow. But in right hand this class can do amazing things. Rinnik. In this meta compared to other cars, I mean, I definitely should put it here because car is OP, right? But I'm not comparing classes to each other. I'm comparing classes to each other in their like horses to horses, you know. Of course, Brigand will lose to Družinik 1 by 1, but compared to others, Družinik is not better than Knight, for example. So it's not like OP class. I would say A, but he's better than Mounted Warrior. I would say you definitely want to have a Barding on Družinik, not a tougher horse. Because 36 armor, it's very good, very strong. 18 armor is not enough. You're almost not a heavy calf with this amount of armor. You definitely want to get Barding. This lack of 3 charge damage is irrelevant. I know that most guys prefer heavy lance, but I personally prefer long lance. The heavy lance have 1 more damage, but this 5 length, I think it's more valuable. Legionary. Let's think where we can put Legionary. This class is a kind of mediocre heavy infantry. If you see it cost. This heavy axe is very good, but not as good as Sturgia's heavy axe. And you can't take a spear if you're taking this axe. If you take spear, you have a kind of mediocre sword, same as Recrus. These swords have 0 damage input, trust me. It's like when Recrus fighting against heavy inf, they're doing like from 10 to 20 damage, it's kind of ridiculous. They can be destroyed by any heavy infantry, which you cannot say about brigands, for example. I would put it at B tier. But lower than recruits. Archer militia. Just actually all these archers, I mean light archers, including not this Gothic step bow and this archer. They're all the same. They're just not a big difference between them. And if just look, 50 damage. Oh fuck. 54. I just compare it like that. They have all the same movement speed. This guy have 3 armor, 3 armor, 3 armor. Same speed, all. 54 damage. 50. Actually, this archer is worse. I don't. There was archer without. No, they all have the same perks actually. Stronger bow, strong arrows. Stronger bow, arrows. Yes, they all have exactly the same stats. They're all decent archers. Like, for their cost, you can triple spawn them. Let's just put them there. If you're playing archer, I'm sure that you want to triple spawn. Oh. And even they have 74 movement speed. You can escape because actually the armor is influent on your movement speed. If you have less armor, you can run faster, and they don't have shield, and this skirmisher classes, of course, they will chase you sooner or later, but they won't make it fast, so you can just escape through your allies. Where is Archer? Okay, this one and this guy. Actually, BT. Yes, and they, in my opinion, they're more valuable than heavy infantries. Legion, for example. Okay, Paladin Guard. In my opinion, Paladin Guard is the worst heavy archer. Because, first of all, it has a stronger bow, only 61 damage. Secondly, it has no stronger arrows perk. It has polearm, but this is the worst polearm in the game. One day in the past, it was the broken weapon, but it was so fucking nerfed. Now it's only 103 damage. And the thing not only about damage, that this shit is glancing as fuck. It's always glancing. The only thing you can do with this weapon is protect yourself from cav. That's it. And actually, in most cases, you will be forced to take this shield to drop it to your cav. And you will have this shitty sword, this shitty Empire sword. And just shitty bow with 61 damage. No, I actually think that it's better to take triple spawn than Archimilita. Like that. Okay, this is Courser? Yes. Well, it's a kind of mediocre light cap. It's not as good as Sturgas Light Calf. In my opinion, Sturgas Light Calf is the best. Or maybe the same as Asteroids Light Calf, but they have camels, it's kinda different. Because Sturgas Light Calf have 8 charge damage and shit ton amounts of hit points on their horse. But they don't have lance yet. Well, on cursor you can take lance and faster horse. 7, but your horse is kinda glass cannon. It will be one shot. Cool, so level 3. I think the top of B tier is good for Corsair. Cataphrag. Well, 35 armor. Is it more or less than Surya's really? Less than Drujinik's horse. What the fuck? In the past, the Cataphrag's horses has the best armor. Now it's not for some reason. Well, but it has 13 charge damage, which means that you will always bump hit easily. And you can do ridiculous amount of damage by pump. But it has not the best speed. And they have a lack of lance. They don't have lance, which is kind of problem of the Empire, because they don't have lance on their heavy calf. No, because of that reason, I think a Cataphrag was heavy calf, because you want to have coach on your heavy calf, since coach is broken in this game. No, I'll put Cataphrag at the very top of B tier. Or A. Top B or bottom A? Okay, let's see another classes and then I maybe will change something. Comparing other classes with each other. Peasant. I think Peasant is a very underestimated class. Especially if you not starting with it, but you spawning as Peasant after your first or second death. Because you can loot something and it actually has a decent armor compared to other classes. For example, compared to Recruit, who has just 10 armor. You can loot something and you will be decent warrior in the battlefield, because I don't feel that there is like weapon skills in this game. You can, for example, if you take Bardiche or something else on Peasant, you will be swing as good as Guard with it. So you just can loot anything and keep fighting good. And it costs only 80. You can spawn 4 times with it. Definitely not the worst peasant class, since only 80 cost. But don't start game with it. If you're starting game with peasants, you will lose most likely. You definitely want to take peasant only if there's something to loot on the battlefield. Okay, I'll put it. Is it more valuable than legionary? You know, I never take a legionary on Empire. Legendary is so fucking garbage. It has no anything. Actually, let's be objectively. At least Legendary has the axe, but you need to loot on Peasant. Oh, even like that. Yeah. Vulture is the best Shokin in the game at the moment, in my opinion, because it has actually Vouge, which works like a polearm, which very rarely glancing. If you're comparing into Menavlem, for example, or this stupid Empire's the Imperial polearm, which glancing all the time. But it's still don't have shield, so you can be easily killed by any of those skirmisher classes and any archer, and you can be killed by coach and you can do anything if you didn't see Cav in time, for example. But you still can act good against Cav because Woosh working as a pole armor, you can stop it and do shit tons amount of damage to rider or to horse. And Woosh have very decent damage. Very good class, very strong, I like it. If I playing blind, I'm playing Voodoo most likely. Not Sergeant or Peasant Levy. Yeah, Voodoo. But if you want to use it as another skirmisher classes, to take sword and shield and jeffs, it will be fucking shit. Because 120 cost, which same as Wild Link and skirmisher. But it has only 12 armor and 81 speed. What the fuck? It's so bad. Of course, it has 110 hit points because it counts like a shock troop. But still, 12 armor. Come on. And jabs is shit. Like just 3 shitty jabs. I'm not even talking about Francesca's because after those nerf of throwing axes, they're so bad. Don't look at this. At this 27 damage. This is 51. You will do much more damage with jabs than with Francesca's. Trust me. Yes, Sergeant. Sergeant is a slightly better than Legionary. And actually, wait a minute. No, it's slightly worse than Legionary. Actually, Sergeant is the worst heavy troop in game. I'll explain now. Let's compare it to Husate Spear Infantry, which 130 costs. It has 37 armor, and if you take mace, you have 69 damage, 69 blunt damage mace. If you want to take mace on Sergeant, you will have a shitty mace with fucking 48 damage. This is like 76 length. Where was it? And it even longer. 40 armor here, 37 armor here. But you will take improved armor most likely, because if you playing Vlandia, in most cases you playing against light infantry. This Vlandian sword is pretty decent. 66 damage is enough to hit almost every skirmisher troop in most cases. But still, compared to other heavy infantries, he's shit. You will play sergeants on Vlandia because you just have no choice, and that's actually the reason because why Vlandia is so bad in this patch. Not only about lack of skirmisher unit. I mean, you can take Vujer as skirmisher, but it's fucking shit. You better play sergeant than Vujer as skirmisher. 12 armor, come on. Just take improved armor, long spear, and go on and hope that you will win. That is actually the burst heavy infantry. Yeah, bottom B tier is solid for him. Arbalist. Actually very good shooter. Not worse than any of those archers. It's just... if you like crossbows, you will put it here. If you more like bows, you will put it here. I like crossbows more, it's my tier list, so I'll put it here. You have very good damage on crossbow, 72. Which is decent for this class. Because you can triple spawn on him. You can even take strong balls and make it 76. Very good. Decent. Sharpshooter is one of my favorite class on Vlandia. If I play Vlandia, taking it very often because I just don't want to play Sergeants or Vugers against Aserai, for example, then I take Sharpshooter. Because it has almost 90 damage, in previous patches it has 105, if I remember correctly. You can even have this shield, but I never take it because it makes you slow. You can't escape from everything. With this shield, 7 weight. If you're running away, you definitely want to just drop it. And it actually has a decent sword, as any heavy archer class. They all have top swords of their faction. It's at least A tier. I would say like here. Hey, Vanguard. It's actually the same as Corsair. Even has the same perks, but he has armor on his horse. But in most cases you want to take lance. And you want your sharpshooter to drop your shield. But if you can't get it, you want to take small shield. So you won't take half barding in most cases. So I'll just put it near this guy. They're the same. Vanguard and Corsair. Knight. Knight is the same as Družinnik, especially if you're taking this heavy lance. They have the same length? Same or not the same? It's slightly longer lens. The horses are 250. 250. And with barding, but no, if you take barding, you have slightly worse horse. Yeah, Knight is slightly better than Дружинник. And actually, if it's important, Knight have better sword on Cav. Because this axe is shit. I would even put Knight here. It's one of the best Cav. It's just he has everything. He has coach lance, he has shit tons amount of HP on his horse. He has decent melee weapon. I mean, this weapon, if you look at stats, it's kind of the same as this axe, but this axe is so long, so it's constantly just glancing, which you cannot say about the sword. You can't fight with it. Clan Warrior. Someone said me that the Recruit's the best skirmisher class, but it's kinda not true. Only 10 damage and shit Jeffs. You actually paying this 100 for Pila. But look at this Chad Clan Warrior. He has 24 armor, 82 movement speed. One of the best longsword in the game. The only thing he don't have is Javs or Pila. But come on, as pure melee infantry, he's one of the best. Maybe he's the best present class. The only reason why no one take Clan Warriors in match is because you have Wildlings here. But Clan Warriors is better than Recruits in my opinion. They're better than Bougers for their cost. No, like here. Savage is complete garbage. Just look at this. 3 armor. No even a single good weapon. You have hammer here. Yes, you have 112 blunt damage, but you can't deliver this damage to anyone who not playing first time. Because of this 69 swing speed. 110 HP won't help you because if you have only 3 armor you will be one-shotted most likely, in most cases, by arrow, by calf. You will be... any skirmish class will 2-hit you. By the way, this Rampire breaks shields very fast. The only one plus of this class. And this shock troop is complete garbage, definitely T tier. Now we have Wildling here. Wildling is definitely A tier meta class. You have one of the best longsword. But you want to take axe in most cases, I guess. Because you want to break enemy's shield to just throw them down to death after they lose it. This class is just quintessence of current meta. It has everything what you need at the moment. It has throwing spear. The only weak point of this class is this garbage shield. I don't know who designed it, but it looks like a fucking shit. Very decent class, very strong. You can't do shit playing this class, definitely. But he's not as OP as Brigand, definitely. Brigand have less cost and he's actually better. Even these simple Jeffs, Brigand has better. Brigand has Harpoon. They're not better actually. Okay, anyway. Brigands are too OP for their costs. Outsworn, the most armored class in game. Oh yeah, just compare this mace and this amount of armor to Vlandia's heavy 40, 48, the same cost, and they worse in all things than Outsworn. It's just ridiculous. I don't know who making this balance. If you just look at the stats, you can easily see that one class better than another. This surgeon just don't have any pluses compared to Allsworn. How possible? And if you even look to other classes of the faction, you will see that other classes better as well. Wildling, they don't even have a skirmisher class. Okay, Batanya's shock troop is much worse than Vlandia's, but who cares about shock troops in current meta? Okay, Allsworn is almost the best heavy infantry in this game. But you don't want to take heavy infantry if you have Wildling here. It's like they have a better sword than Blind, they have better mace, better shield. They're just strong sperm. I'll put it here. Actually I need Cataphracts. I'll put Cataphract here actually. I think Cataphract is more valuable than Clan Warrior, but not more valuable than this Arbalist. Next we have Warrior here, who's he have also decent stats about armor, but he have lack of movement speed. If you compare it to Clan Warrior, he don't have any pluses compared to Clan Warrior. He has worse weapon, I mean one-handed weapon. He has slightly better shield. Yeah, more armor, more durability, but who cares if you don't have movement speed? This sword is not better than Batanya's sword. This is shorter and slower. You can make a shock troop from this class, but shock troop without movement speed is shit. But actually, Warrior with two-hand attack is better than Berserker with the same two-hand attacks. I'll explain you later. I'll put Warrior like here. Maybe present even. No, actually no. Hunter. Also very good light archer. For its cost, you can triple spawn it. And it has 70 damage. Compared to other light archers, who has only 54. It's ridiculous. It's actually the best light archer in the game. I want to put it somewhere like here. Yes. Berserker's shit. He's slightly better than Savage. 120 cost. At least Savage cost is 110. But look at the damage. It only 106 with complete garbage for shock troop. It also has shit armor. You can take Jazz, it will be the same Jazz as you can take on Blindiest Vulture. If you taking Berserker, you probably want to take Great Axe, which has a decent damage, but Great Axe has a very tiny place, very tiny with this actually axe, and this glancing very often. And also he has sword for some reason. I don't know why. Why this perk here? Nice design. This two-handed model shit as well. Even worse than this Savage model. Yeah, definitely useless class. I don't see anything where he can be useful. You can even take Warrior with the same axe. It's exactly the same axe. And at least you have armor. Ah, my god. Variax, one of the best heavy infantry in the game. I'll put it right here, because heavy infantry is shit. Yeah, like here. 8 tier. I guess you probably want to take improved armor and you want to take this Northern Heavy Axe with his ridiculous 94 damage. This class is like light infantry destroyer. He can easily kill any light inf in the game. With this his ridiculously amount of damage and this 51 armor. If you take Variax at the first round and you're playing against light classes like Aserai Skirmishers or just Wildlings, you will win most likely in most cases, because you have big shield, they will just waste their throwings, and they don't actually have outs to make damage to you, because they don't have any blunt weapon. They have only sword, axe. The skirmisher has only sword and axe as well. They will take the sword most likely. Just take Vardax, they're very underestimated. I don't know why they always taking brigands. You can take Vardax and then you will have 330 gold anyway. You can triple brigands anyway. It's kind of risky because if you lose second round, you will be kind of fucked. But you won't lose with Vardax in most cases. Only way you can lose if you complete garbage, I don't know. Now this hunters is not great archers at all. They have 120 cost, but the only advantage over these archers is they have 10 more damage. I think this 10 more damage is not worth this 10 more gold actually. Because if your class costs only 110, you can triple spawn it almost in any case. I'll put it here. And actually this long bow is not the great best bow as well. Not not very comfortable to shoot with it, in my opinion. I'm not a great archer, so maybe I'm talking some bullshit, but I was playing this hunter that it wasn't comfortable to play as. Well, Raider has lack of lance, but it has his own throwing spear, but he will get his throwing spear from Brigand in most cases. This tougher horse has the best balance from the light calves between charge damage and hit points of horse. So that's the reason why I think that this is one of the best light calves. The only thing that he is lack of lance, but if you won't get a shield from your allies on these classes, you won't get lance as well. So if you don't have allies, this class is better than other light calves in my opinion. Just because of this horse. But he's definitely not better than Mounted Warrior. I'm not even counting Mounted Warrior as light calf actually, because he's taking barding on his horse in most cases. I put it at very top of B tier. Well, Rubble. Actually, Rubble is a very decent peasant class. You are able to force spawn with it if you have enough gold. 360. This mace is maybe it has 43 damage, but it's not shit. It's a very decent damage because it's blunt damage. You can 3-hit heavy infantry, but in most cases you want to change your weapon. And you definitely want to spawn only with improved armor and this shield, and no other ways. And just change your weapon and go ahead. But I actually think is worse than peasant. Because peasant has 1 more armor and 10 less cost. And peasant even faster. Yeah, peasant much better. I even put it here. Well, spear infantry is the best heavy infantry in this game. in my opinion, is it's S tier. Is I know that there's throwing meta, but the class who cost 130 and have two best weapons in the game, this long sword is the best sword in the game. 73 damage, 93 swing speed, 37 armor. This mace is broken. I don't know who designed it. 69 damage. Just look at other maces. They're not even close to that. 38. 50. Not even close. With this mace you can do like from 80 to 90 damage to heavy inf if you have good speed bonus. You will 2-hit them in most cases. But actually you can... I think you will take heavy mace only against Blinde. Because other factions taking light infantry. And this sword is better against light infantry. Because it's faster, it's longer, and you will 2-hit them anyway. Because 73 damage to an armored class. I mean, with light armor. 20 armor is not unarmored. But you will 2-hit them anyway. So you will 2-hit them with this, and you will 2-hit them with this. So no point to take mace against skirmisher classes. But I actually put this on S tier because he is just better again compared to other heavy infantries. This doesn't mean that he's better than Cataphract or Druzhini, for example. No, it means that he better than other heavy infantries. In his class, this is the best. The 130 cost, best weapons in the game, decent armor. Hans Guard. Also a very decent heavy archer. I think his place is right here. He has glaive, which is an absolutely broken weapon. It's glaive, but this weapon never glances. It has ridiculous damage. Well, glaive was more OP than Minavlion, but for some reason they nerfed Minavlion but didn't nerf glaive. If you playing archer, it means that if infantry come to you, they will play offensive in most cases. That means that you are able to kick slash very easy. And with glaive, if you are kick slash the light inf, it will be one shot. Just imagine archer who one shotting infantry. But actually, on heavy archer, 54 damage is not enough in my opinion, so you will take stronger bow in most cases. Very good archer. Much better than Paladin Guard, who has lack of damage, lack of good weapon. He has crossbow, but this crossbow is shit as well. Better to take this bow than this crossbow. Nomad. In my opinion, Nomad is what calves should be look like in this game. If you take Charger Horse and Shield, you have a horse with 10 charge damage and 170 hit points, which is definitely just glass cannon. But he's very fast. He's very fast and vulnerable. So you need just hit and run, hit and run. You can't just stay in the middle of the fight like other calves always doing. Yeah, you should play calf like this guy. But he's not the best light calf. I think he's right here. I actually like Nomad more than these guys. It's my personal opinion. I don't know if I like Nomad's gameplay more. He actually has lance. Have bow and arrows. I use this bow. 46 damage. This is just for fun. Lancer, very solid calf. The longest lance. 208. Slightly worse armor than two other coach calves like Gruzhinik and Knight. He has glaive, but it's also not for serious gameplay. Yeah, and he actually has a vulnerable horse. Not the best charge damage. But this is fucking heavy calf. He's worse than Druzhinnik. Actually, his only plus among other heavy calves is length of his lance. He is worse than they in every other case. He has worse horse, worse armor, shit weapon. I mean one hand, but it doesn't matter actually. I actually think that Batania's calf is better for its cost. Yeah, I'll just put it here. Horse Archer is shit. In my opinion, it's complete useless class in this patch. Especially if we are talking about beast matches. Which mounted archer counts like a calf. So you will take archer instead of your lancer or nomad calf. So instead of your normal calf, which can do much more impact. 32 bow. You won't take this bow. This 50 bow is kinda decent, but it's even worse than light archer. And since this class are nerfed, you can't actually shoot while you're moving. You need to be lucky to shoot someone, or you need to move just directly on enemy to shoot him while you're moving. In any other case, you should just stand and shoot from your horse, and you are vulnerable while you're doing it. But he's better than these two guys. Complete garbage guys. No, Tribal Warrior, one of the worst peasant class in this game. If you take improved armor, you will have shit sword, 52 damage. So you want to take or this long sword, which is very good, or take like improved armor and just pick up the sword from battlefield. But in almost everything, this class is worse than other peasant class, especially with 100 cost. It don't even have any throwing, as the recruit has, for example. I think right here. Actually, maybe he's better than Rubble because he has his own good weapon. He's not forced to find something. This Cascara is definitely better than Club. Well, Skirmisher. Very decent Skirmisher class. Actually has lack of armor. But they has this Jarits. It is very good. If you headshot someone with Jarit, you will kill him. In most cases. If this is not heavy infantry or heavy archer, you will do like 90 damage to heavy archer with headshot with Jarit. And you will one-shot any light infantry. Oh, I think it's worse than Wildlings, because they have like 10 less armor. Wildlings has 22. This guy has 13. I think they're placed right here. Guard, very solid shock troop. Actually one of the best in game. I don't think that Vulture only slightly better because his Whoosh is acting as pole arm and you can stop Cav, but it's better to fight if you're fighting against infantry. It's better to have Bardish because he's insanely amount of damage. And the Bardish almost never glancing. This Whoosh glancing much more often than Bardish. I'll even put maybe he's even slightly better. I actually think that they're equal. Yeah, just the Wooger more useful because he can stop Cav. Well, Veteran, also very good archer. It's as good as Aceres archer. But slightly worse. Almost as good. And he don't have his glaive. He has this shitty mace. Which is also not even close to Huzait's mace. But you will take stronger bows in most cases. So with the same perks as Huzait's archer, it has less armor. Yeah, much less armor, less damage. So it's just worse copy of this guy. I think right here. Bedouin. I personally don't like camels, but I more like horses. Because camels has a they can jump, but they have ridiculous maneuverability and ridiculous amount of HP. And they actually have good charge damage. But I don't know, it's not comfortable for me to play as camel. Maybe I don't have enough practice, so if I playing Bedouin, I just taking improved armor in most cases. But still, Bedouin is the best light infantry in this game, in my opinion. Not including Battanian one. I think his place is right, like here. Yeah. No, Mamluk. I think he's the fastest heavy calf in this game. Am I right? If you'll be taking part in 203. Much faster than this one. Yeah, other guys just has the same speed. Slightly. Yeah, the fastest heavy calf. And it actually have a good armor. More armor than Huzate's one. 15 more HP. And slightly shorter lance, but he has the same lance as the other heavy calves. And I don't think that this 4 more length is better than armor and hit points of your horse, and especially speed of your horse. Actually, the one of the best one if you're dueling other calves. I like Mamluks very much. Yeah, I think his place here, even here. Oh, Brigand is the most OP class, in my opinion. For his cost, he has everything. Fiance, right here. Maybe need to correct something. I think actually this Paladin guard is more useful than Sergeant. Yeah, like that. Yeah, I guess that's it. Thank you who was watching this very interesting tier list at the very ending of this patch. So yeah.